Well, a very good morning, and thank you very much for joining us here on GBS Morning Extra on this day. I'm really glad that you've joined us. I hope that you are well. My name is Timothy Omondi. My sign language interpreter is Felista Adundo. We start this morning with news from Machakos County, where the Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua recorded a statement with the police yesterday claiming that his life is in danger. Mutua alleges that the Deputy President William Ruto, the leader of Majority Aden Duale, and the leader of Majority in Senate Kipchumba Murkomen have on various occasions threatened unspecified consequences because of his statements on national issues. Let's listen into this story by our reporter William Ochanda.
Speaking to the press after recording the statement, Dr. Mutua accused leaders allied to the Deputy President that they are threatening him. In the statement titled "Threats to Me" by Dr. William Ruto, Aden Duale, and Kipchumba Murkomen.
I've written a letter to the Inspector General of Police, and it is the following, and I've done a few things. It's about threats to me by the Deputy President William Ruto, by Honorable Aden Duale, and also by Senator Kipchumba Murkomen.
Mutua alleges that the trio has threatened him twice with undisclosed consequences.
Honorable Duale and Honorable Murkomen made the following threats to me. Duale, wewe, what is wrong with you? Me, what do you mean, my friend? Duale, you've been attacking us and we will deal with you. Me, how have I been attacking you? Murkomen, we wacha zako, we have to teach you a lesson. Me, what have I done? When did I attack either of you? Duale, when you attack our team, you attack us. Me, team. Murkomen, you've been attacking the DP. Duale, ukiguza DP, unaguza sisi.
The statement read that it brings to attention that the above-named person have on two different occasions threatened Dr. Mutua with unspecified consequences because of his statements on national issues. Dr. Mutua said he recorded a statement at Kilimani Police Station under OB number 50/16/12/2019. He claimed that his fight against corruption is what has led to the threats against his life. While listing the evidence in his statement, Dr. Mutua cited an incident in State House on November 25th, 2019, when Murkomen and Duale confronted him for attacking Deputy Ruto. Reporting for GBS Morning Extra, I'm William Ochanda.
Now, moving on to other matters, the Director of Criminal Investigation has summoned 11 more people over the Itere Dam scandal. Former directors of the Rift Valley Water Service Board are among individuals summoned by the anti-graft detectives for questioning on Monday over the stalled 30 billion Kenya shillings Itere Dam project. William Ochanda with that story.
The DCI has summoned 11 more persons over Itere Dam scandal. The former directors of the Rift Valley Water Service Board are among individuals summoned by anti-graft detectives for questioning on Monday over the stalled 30 billion shilling Itere Dam project. Those summoned by Director of Criminal Investigations George Kinoti are Narok politician Lydia Maskonde, Christine Ndoigo, Chesaina Batonjo, Julius Lamaoni, Nimuel Machuki, Iwoi Lochom, Samuel Kaaleng, Engineer Kiengo, Barak Amolo, and Yatich David. They were expected to present themselves before the detectives at DCI headquarters on Kiambu Road on Monday. According to a letter from the DCI to the Rift Valley Waterworks Development Agency Chief Executive Office that dated December 9, the purpose of the summon is for the individuals to record statements in relation to alleged misappropriation of public funds. The letter indicated that they should report without fail. The summons comes a week after Water Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugui was questioned by the detectives. The dam has had an array of challenges ranging from compensation, flawed procurement processes, and numerous court cases. The over 30 billion shilling dam meant to supply water to more than 800,000 residents of Molo, Njoro, Rongai, Kuresoi, and Nakuru town has since stalled. Currently, there's no work going on at the dam site. Reporting for GBS Morning Extra, I'm William Ochanda.
And now we cross over to the northeastern province area where the Mandera County government has signed an agreement with 3 health workers' unions averting a looming strike in Mandera County Referral Hospital.
Mandera County is closed after the county government reached an agreement with the 3 health workers' unions that had jointly issued a strike notice on 24th of November 2019. Kenya National Union of Nurses, Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, and the Kenya National Union of Medical Laboratory Officers jointly had threatened to go on strike over job promotions. The 3 unions also demanded better medical cover for the health workers in the county. On Friday, Governor Ali Roberts' administrations agreed to promote all common officers who have completed 3 years in service to the next job group. County Health Chief Officer Hassan Mohamed Ahmed further stating that the county leadership is keen on fulfilling the health workers' demands. The agreement was signed by representatives of the 3 unions, the 2 county government chief officers, and the county minister of health Shams Mohamed. The county government promised to promote health officers who have remained dormant in one job group to the next level. Despite the unions threatening to take the industrial action due to poor medical cover services, the issue was not captured in the Friday agreement. The 3 unions had issued the strike notice which had left the health workers' grievances unsolved. Mary Vuguza, GBS Morning Extra.
Well, moving on to other matters now, but we still stick in Mandera County, where the Mandera County Commissioner has called for a halting of issuance of identification cards following claims that some government officials are siphoning money from helpless locals who apply for the important document. Let's listen in.
Sababu ya ufisadi. Hii ufisadi mpaka tumalize na wazee mkubaliane na mimi. Huwezi kuambia mtoto ametoka shule ati atoe 3,000, 2,500 ati wewe uwezeshwe kwenda mahali pale. Mimi nimesikitika na hiyo kitu kwa sababu mimi wakati nilimaliza shule sikupelekwa na baba yangu kwenda kuchukua kitambulisho. Nilichukua certificate zangu za shule na nikaenda nikajiandikisha na nikapata kitambulisho. Lakini wakoro wachache hapa wanashikana leta 3,000, leta 2,500, wengine wanataka kuleta watu kutoka ng'ambo. Hiyo ni uongo, hatutakubali. Na mkikataa hiyo kamati, mimi nimeambia DC na yuko hapa, mimi nitaenda shule tuletewa record ya schools. Na kutoka hapo sisi tutapatia watoto wale wamemaliza shule kitambulisho na hiyo mambo ikiisha. Hao wengine tuachane nao. Huwezi kuambia ati ofisa atoa 2,000, 3,000. Hapa mimi nimekataa hiyo. Hii mungoje mimi nitoke Mandera alafu mfanye hiyo mambo. Ile ingine, kama wewe ni kiongozi hapana vuruga miradi ya serikali, wachana naye. Kama wewe ni MCA na unataka kuwa mbunge 2022, wewe hapana leta watu kusema hii watu nataka waingie hapa, waingie Mandera. Hapana, wachana na hiyo maneno. Wewe wachana na hiyo maneno. Wewe wacha watu wa Mandera watachagua ule mbunge.
Now we cross over to the coastal region where construction workers of the 11-kilometer Makupa Causeway in Mombasa protested over what they termed as poor payment. Workers' representatives say that the low pay is to blame for the poverty in the area and that they had to hold a strike after the Mashujaa Day due to the salary delays.
Workers in Makupa Causeway, Mombasa say they were paid on 23rd October, whereby it is after some delay. They have been working either as casuals or an unfavorable contracts and were barred from joining unions to stifle their ability to fight for better terms. Representatives from various sectors of the economy say the mistreatment was perpetrated to absolve themselves of the responsibility of ensuring their employees and properly remunerated and working environment is secured. Central Organization for Trade Unions representatives in Mombasa County said many collective contracts were not honored by employers. Some of them even withhold employee certificates.
When you round off. So, tunataka mambo yote, tuna appeal kwa Mheshimiwa Rais. kwamba hii barabara ni yake, and it's through Kenya that rais atajua. Kenya, they come here, they don't follow anything. Wanakuja hapa wakituangalia, wanaangalia kazi, they go. They don't ask how much we are being paid, if we are satisfied or not. They don't. Wanakuja tu wakiangalia kazi, wanaongea na Wachina wakienda. Na ndio maana tunasema Kenya wafuate, and that is laxity on their side. Kwa sababu gani? Kama haitakuwa laxity, wangetaka kujua tunalipwa ngapi, of which wakishajua wao, they can forward everything to the president direct. Itamfikia.
The workers of the 11-kilometer Makupa Causeway said that in terms of low labor, a graded workers' overtime should be 124 shillings per hour, of which they are being paid 73 shillings.
Malipo ni kidogo, na pia tulikuwa tumelalamika. Malipo kama fundi analipwa per month 17,447. Lakini hiyo ni kando na overtime. Hapo nyuma ilikuwa tunafanyiwa hivyo, overtime ilikuwa tunafanya 15th up to 15th. Hii overtime at least fundi alikuwa anapata kama 10,000 and above, ambao ukichanganya plus 17 na kwa around 27 or above if you worked for more hours. Lakini come October, wakati Mashujaa Day tulikwenda holiday, tulipewa off. Pesa ilikuwa itoke on Tuesday after Mashujaa Day. So on Tuesday watu waliporudi kazi, walipouliza mbona pesa imechelewa, wale maboss tuko nao supervisor wakasema pesa itatoka on Friday, coming Friday. When you talk of the laws of labor, we understand that if you are a graded worker, your overtime should be 124 shillings per hour. Your overtime per hour, of which you are being paid as at now 73 shillings.
In the county, Central Organization for Trade Unions representatives demanded that employers be compelled to allow employees to join trade unions.
Well, moving on to other matters now. Trainee drivers will from next month begin sitting a written test under the recently revised National Transport and Safety Authority testing guidelines. The new guidelines have already been met with resistance from the Kenya Motorist Association. Let's listen in. Trainee drivers will from next month begin sitting a written test under the recently revised National Transport and Safety Authority testing guidelines. The strict syllabus will see drivers only get licenses after passing the elaborate test comprising theory and practical exams complete with periodic continuous assessment tests. The theoretical test shall consist of a continuous assessment test administered after every 40 hours of training and a final test at the end of all the units in a module. The test shall comprise a minimum of 50 multiple choice questions, read the NTSA guidelines in part. It remains unclear how the written test will be taken by illiterate drivers with limited ability to read and write, especially for the theory lessons. Under the practical test, the learner driver is tested in a training yard to evaluate his ability to maneuver under different set conditions and then taken to the road to negotiate most traffic situations in a skilled and safe manner. One will not be allowed to take another test before 21 days after failing exams, with those who fail theory exams required to retake the entire examination, while one who fails a practical exam is required to resit the practical within a period not exceeding 6 months or register afresh and redo the course. For those aiming to drive public service vehicles, the bar is higher, since they will be required to master vehicle construction and controls, self-inspection of vehicles, communication on the road, speed management, emergency maneuvers, skid control, and customer care, among other skills. They will also need to be trained on anti-carjacking techniques. However, the Motorist Welfare Lobby Group has opposed a proposal in revised National Transport and Safety Authority which will see drivers not only get licenses after passing the elaborate test comprising theory and practical exams complete with periodic continuous assessment tests. The Motorist Association of Kenya Chairman Peter Murima said the proposed curriculum is impractical, adding that the driving task is a hands-on skill that requires years of training, retraining, and road experience to master, as opposed to sit-in exams that do not reflect true Kenyan scenarios. He noted that the theory-based exam starting next month will see new and old drivers, including many in the informal sector, subjected to the excess academic test. Murima added that the 5 million plus motorists are safe drivers and 1 or 2 reckless ones should not be used as a measure to subject all drivers to strictness of discriminatory driver testing. On to development matters now. Chinese energy companies plan to invest billions of shillings in Kenya's renewable energy sector as the country upgrades its energy capacity. In the late 20 years, China has expanded its energy footprint in Africa, becoming a major source of funds for a dozen countries on the continent. Our reporter Beatrice Modoni with this story.
Chinese energy companies plan to invest billions of shillings in Kenya's renewable energy sector as the country upgrades its energy capacity. Areas targeted for investment include wind, solar, and nuclear energy, where China has become a global leader. Africa Policy Institute President Peter Kagwanja says the investment is part of the 6 trillion shillings Belt and Road Fund established by China last year to help expand African infrastructural capacity. In the last 20 years, China has expanded its energy footprint in Africa, becoming a major source of funds for a dozen of countries on the continent keen to modernize their energy sectors. Africa Policy Institute President Peter Kagwanja says Kenya, which still suffers from low power generation, is fast attracting the eye of Beijing as an attractive renewable energy destination.
By 2030, will be 674 million people in Africa will not have access to electricity, and therefore they continue to rely on the traditional sources of energy, which are largely what we call dirty energy, or energy that pollutes. So the point therefore becomes that China becomes a natural ally in terms of giving access to Africa to technology, so that we are able to tap into our resources.
Speaking during the China-Africa Energy Cooperation Summit, Kagwanja backed Nairobi-Beijing partnership to expand renewable energy mix. Kenya has been leading the continent in renewable energy sector with a mix of solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal generating close to 85% of the country's energy needs. Kagwanja further says Chinese oil companies are keen on tapping Kenya's petroleum sector, led by the global petroleum chemical giant China National Petroleum Corporation.
Africa's main usage of electricity moving forward will not be about heating, because we have a lot of heat in this continent. The sun is here everywhere. It's cooling, because we need to cool our avocados. We need to cool our meat. We need to cool our chicken when we're exporting them. We need to cool our flowers, our vegetables, so that they can reach the market fresh. And therefore, our electricity is very central to our industrialization.
Reporting for GBS Morning Extra, I'm Esther Munyiri.
Well, the story was prepared by Beatrice Modoni and voiced by Esther Munyiri. Moving on to other matters now. Members of Parliament from Isiolo County have petitioned Director of Public Prosecution Nordin Haji to investigate the conduct of Kenya Wildlife Service officers over alleged disappearance of suspected poachers. Senator Fatuma Dulo, County Women Representative Rehema Jaldesa, and Isiolo North MP Abdi Koropu claimed that the families whose loved ones disappeared in unclear circumstances years back were yet to get justice, despite the cases being reported to the police.
Karibu jina ya watu 11 ambao wamepotea from the face of this earth. Hatujui wako wapi, wamechukuliwa kutoka Kina, wamechukuliwa hapa Mati, wamechukuliwa kila sehemu. Sisi tuna suspect. Hawa ukiona ile tunafanya uchunguzi, inasemekana ati hawa they are suspected poachers. Sisi kama viongozi na hii raia ya Isiolo hatuungi mkono poaching, but we are saying there is law ambaye wewe unaongoza. Kama mtu anashukiwa kama ni poacher, apelekwe kotini, afungwe, kama hata atafungwa miaka na miaka, lakini mtu anauawa, maiti haonekani. Sahii wazazi hapa wanalia, hakuna maiti. Hiyo ndio kitu tunataka ichunguze. Tumepeleka petition bunge, haiendi. Na hizo vitu it is common in the pastoralist areas.
KWS tarehe 21 hiyo mwezi walipiga risasi vijana 11 na mmoja aliuawa. Wale 10 waliumia, mpaka leo hawajalipwa fidia. Tunaomba ufuatilie. Na la tatu, KWS, kuna arm ya KWS ambayo inaitwa intelligence. Wako na pesa ambayo wanapewa nyingi sana. Wanatumia hiyo pesa kugonganisha wananchi, na wao ndio wanafanya uhalifu katika Isiolo County, hasa Melpa. Tunaomba uinvestigate hiyo department.
People we know who have been taken, for example, from a constituency, kuna Mohamed Roba Golode kutoka Kunawawe alichukuliwa, hatujui mali yako. Kuna Ali Wario Guyo amechukuliwa, hatujui mali yako. Kuna Adan Mohamed Dido kutoka pande ya North amechukuliwa, hatujui mali wako. Our national heritage, the pride we have in this wildlife has become a problem to us. Mpaka inakuingiza chuki ukiona wanyamapori. Maanake watu wako wanachukuliwa, haujui wako wapi. Na information ile tunapata, sababu hawapatikani ni kwa sababu wanapelekwa katika hifadhi ya wanyamapori. Their documents, their clothing.
Well, we stay in Isiolo County still. Residents of Shambani and Arimet of Burat ward in Isiolo County are appealing for help after Isiolo River and Ewaso Nyiro rivers broke their banks and flooded their villages. The flooded rivers are also found their way into a Buffalo Springs Game Reserve, leading to the evacuation of visitors using choppers. The floods also cut the bridges linking the Shambani and Kipsing area and other areas. According to area residents, they have not yet received any help from local authorities.
Watu sahi kuna emergency inatakikana. Watu wengi wamekaa ng'ambo, wamelala njaa. Hakuna namna watafuka kwenda town kujinunulia hata vyakula vyao. Hakuna namna mtu atatolewa hospitali, hata akigonjeka hakuna vile atafikishwa town. Unakuta kwamba baadhi ya mahitaji yamefungiwa ng'ambo hile, na wale wa ng'ambo huu hataweza kupata mahitaji. Sasa tunaomba His Excellency the Governor wa kaunti hii aweze kusaidia wakazi wa eneo hili na wakazi wa Ngaramara na chakula ya dharura.
Hata saa hii shida ikitokea kama ni hatani, wala hata hapa kiwanja tu jirani yetu, hawataweza kwenda kusaidia ile watu kwa sababu watapitia wapi? Haya, hii mambo ya hospitali, madaktari wako town, kila asubuhi wakikuja mto imefurika, watapitia wapi? Hata mtu akigonjeka, hata mama akienda kujifungua hawezi. Mfano, juzi kuna mshungaji angamia, alifamiwa na fisi usiku, akafamiwa na fisi saa 8 ya usiku, na sisi tukapigiwa simu kujaribu kwenda kuokoa, tukilete hapa mto imejaa. Huyo mgonjwa alikaa hapa mpaka saa 3 ya asubuhi kutoka saa 8.
Kuna kina mama walienda town, wamekaa hata bila kunyonyesha siku 2 siku 3. Na mambo ya watoto kufika huko kwa shule hakunanga. Tunategemea siku hizi mambo ya town. Watu wako na njaa vile vile. Msaidizi aina yoyote ikitoka ng'ambo hii yetu, hatutasaidika sababu askari kwa ng'ambo ile. Hatutaokolewa na chochote kwa sababu hii Isiolo River maji ni full.
Sisi tungeomba tu serikali yetu, hasa serikali ya county, kwa sababu hao ndio wako karibu na watu, wajaribu kutuangalilia kwa mambo ya emergency, kwa sababu inahitaji emergency zaidi.
Now we cross borders to neighboring Ethiopia, where a cooperative supported by the IKEA Foundation is turning invasive weeds into energy and a source of livelihoods for both refugees in the area and their host in the Ethiopia's arid south.
A cooperative supported by the IKEA Foundation is fighting back, turning weed into charcoal briquettes sold in markets across the arid region. The program is proving to be both environmentally friendly and a boost to the local economy. Prosopis juliflora trees are designated as weeds and pests due to their invasive nature and abundance. It can even be harmful to animals grazing on it. Aden Abdullahi Ahmed, local farmer, says that where the tree grows, it eradicates all the other trees. It grows alone, and that is the biggest problem. The roots grow deep down into the ground and stretch wide, and it is hard for other trees to grow around it. 50 years ago is when it was first planted. Prosopis juliflora spread fast, taking over resources in an already arid region in a community hosting over 150,000 refugees.
I've seen that there is a problem with the refugee and the local host community. Mostly the conflict come on, when they go to the bush and find the firewood, mostly there is a conflict. At the same time, all the refugee camp areas, if you see, mostly it is very bare.
The charcoal briquettes made out of prosopis burn longer than regular charcoal. Asha Ahmed, a Somali refugee, compliments the coal. She says that compared to the regular charcoal she has been using, this is far much better, though it requires a lot of work to use it. She says that within 3 hours she is able to prepare tea and cook supper. She adds that even after an hour of not using the briquette, she can still warm her food with it. It is evident of how trees designated to be weeds and pests are turned into a positive investment for people living in Ethiopia. GBS Morning Extra.
Well, moving further afield, in India, a law meant to provide protection against persecution is sparking outrage. Scenes of violence have unfolded across the country as protests spread against the Citizens Amendment Act. Before it became a law, it was called the Citizen Amendment Bill, or CAB. The new law provides a route to citizenship for religious minority fleeing persecution in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. Muslims fleeing these countries, however, are not included in. Let's listen into this story by our reporter, Doreen Wawira.
A citizenship amendment bill, which was signed into law last week, promises to fast-track citizenship for religious minorities that critics fear could further marginalize the country's minority Muslim community. The law entitles non-Muslim migrants from 3 Muslim-majority countries to citizenship if they are facing religious persecution. Police used tear gas and detained protesters in the capital Delhi as buses were torched and roads blocked. Protests have raged across northern and eastern India since the law was passed. Some critics say the law is anti-Muslim, while others, especially in border regions, fear large-scale migration. 6 people have been killed in the 5 days of unrest, with more than 100 people injured, including police officers. In the northern city of Aligarh, hundreds of students in Aligarh Muslim University clashed with police, prompting the university to close down the campus until 5th January next year. Over the weekend, demonstrators in West Bengal blocked key national highways, while in Assam, the state government briefly lifted a curfew to allow people to buy essential goods. Reporting for GBS Morning Extra, I am Wawira Doreen.
And that report by Wawira Doreen brings us to the end of this segment of GBS Morning Extra. Do not touch that dial. We'll be right back with the Sports Extra. Well, for now, I bid you farewell. My sign language interpreter, Felista Adundo, and myself, Timothy Omondi. From us, it's bye-bye for now.